Hi everyone, I'm Anuradha N from Second Sem Microbiology. Today I'm here to deliver the seminar talk on Unit 4 Food Preservation under the guidance of Professor Dr. Snehalata V on the topic of chemical preservation and biopreservation. The contents we will be discussing today about chemical preservation and biopreservation. Under the chemical preservation, we're going to study about organic acids, food additives, class 1 and class 2 type of preservatives. Biopreservation. Under biopreservation, we are going to study about lactic acid bacteria. Before going to the chemical preservation, we should know what is food preservation. Food preservation is defined as the process of treating and handling the food in such a way to stop or greatly slow down the spoilage and minimize the possibility of foodborne illness. Why food preservation is important, or what is the purpose of the food preservation? Food preservation is important to increase the shelf life of the food and as well as its supply. The shelf life may be defined as time it takes the product to decline to an unacceptable level. The perishable food can be preserved to prevent spoilage and made to available throughout the year to save food for future use at the time of scarcity or drought, etc. To stabilize the price of the food throughout the year, since seasonal food can be preserved and made available for the consumption throughout the year. Next, the types of food preservation. There are three types of food preservations, namely a physical method of food preservation, chemical method of food preservation, and biopreservation. Now, going to chemical method of food preservation. Now we're going to study about chemical preservation. Introduction. Chemical food preservatives are those which are artificially added to prevent deterioration or decomposition of food. They are added in very low quantities and do not alter organoleptic and physicochemical properties of food. These chemical preservatives are added very low quantity or a little amount which do not alter the organoleptic or physical properties or a chemical property of a food. These are the substance that kills microorganisms or stops their growth. There are some traditional antimicrobial preservatives such as acetic acid and benzoic acids which are approved by most of the international agencies. Most of the antimicrobials are only bacteriostatic and fungistatic. Bacteriostatic refers to the which inhibits or slows down the growth of the bacteria, and fungistatic refers to which inhibits or slows down the growth of fungi. The cellular targets of the food antimicrobials includes cell wall, cell membrane, metabolic enzymes, protein synthesis system, and genetic system. The factors affecting the activity. Food preservation is best achieved by the type of antimicrobial concentration, storage, time, pH of food, buffering capacity, and presence of other agents which are maintained properly. The different microbial factors that affects the antimicrobial activity are inherited resistance, initial population and other growth rate, interaction with the other microbes, that antagonism, cellular status, injury. There are some intrinsic and extrinsic factors which affects the antimicrobial activity. Some of the intrinsic factors that affects the antimicrobial activity associated with the food are the composition of food, pH buffering capacity, oxidation reduction potential, and water activity, etc. affects the activity. Extrinsic factors are atmosphere and relative humidity affects the activity. Now we will see some of the examples for antimicrobial preservatives and their concentrations. benzoic acid, methyl paraben, propyl paraben, ethyl paraben, sodium nitrate, sodium nitrite, sorbates, acetates, propylene oxides, ethylene oxides, sulfides, natamycins, or some etc. Some are the antimicrobial preservatives which are used for food preservations. Now coming to this image, some of the antimicrobials are added to preserve this food and enhance the taste or flavor to the food, such as sodium propionates, sodium benzoates, sulfur dioxide, sodium sulfate, potassium metabisulfates, monosodium glutamates, erythrocyanins, etc. are added to increase the flavor of the food. So next is organic acids. Organic acids are a type of chemical preservatives. Some common organic acids used as food preservatives are propionates. Sodium propionates or calcium propionates is used most extensively in the preservation of mold growth in cheese foods. They are ideal preservative for bread and baked foods. Propionic acid is short-chain fatty acid CH3CH2COOH and affects the cell membrane permeability. Propionic acid is found naturally in Swiss cheese as developed preservative at level up to 1%. They are effective against molds with the little or no inhibition of most of the yeast and bacteria, but their effectiveness decreases with the increase in pH. Next, coming to a benzoates. The sodium salt of benzoic acid has been extensively used as an antimicrobial agent in food. It has been incorporated into jams, jellies, margarine, carbonates, beverages, fruit salads, pickles, etc. Sodium benzoate is more ineffective at pH neutrality and effectiveness increases with the increase in acidity. The pH at which sodium benzoate is most effective is 2.5 to 4.0, which inhibits the growth of the most bacteria, yeast and molds. Two esters of para-hydroxyl benzoic acid, methyl paraben, paraffin, also used in food. Their distinct advantage is that they tend to be more effective at high pH values than other benzoates. Next is sorbates. These compounds are more effective than sodium benzoate at pH values 4.0 and they are most effective at low pH values with the maximum levels of pH 6.5. Sorbic acid and its salts are known to inhibit yeast and molds but are less effective against bacteria. It is widely used in cheese and its cheese product, beverages, syrups, fruit juices, fruit cocktails, jellies, pickles, margarine, etc. Sorbic acid as sodium, calcium, potassium salt is used as direct antimicrobial additives in food and as a spray, dip or coating materials on packaging. Next, acetates. Acetates are the derivatives of acetic acid. Example, monochloric acid, peracetic acid, dihydroacetic acid, and sodium acetate have been recommended as a preservative but not all approved by FDA, that is Food Drug Administration. Acetic acid is in the form of vinegar used in mayonnaise, pickles, pickled sausages, and fix feet. Acetic acid is more effective against yeast and bacteria against molds, and its effectiveness increases with the decrease in pH. Sodium diacetate is used in cheese spreads and malt syrups, and also used in the treatment for wrappers used on the bottles. Next is nitrates and nitrites. Nitrate act as a reservoir for nitrate and their use is being restricted. Nitrate reacts with the secondary and tertiary amines to form nitrosoamines which are carcinogenic, which causes various types of cancer in our bodies. Combination of these various salts have been used in curing solution and curing mixture for meat. Nitrate decomposes to nitric acid which forms nitrosomyoglobin which reacts with the heme pigment when it mates and thereby forms stable red color. A recent work has emphasized the inhibitory property of nitrates towards the Clostridium botulinum in meat products, particularly in bacon and canned or processed hams. Next is sulfur dioxides and sulfides. Sulfur dioxides and sulfides are used in wine industry to sanitize equipment and reduce normal flora of grapes. In earlier days, the Egyptians and Romans burned sulfur to form a sulfur dioxide as a means of sanitizing their wine-making equipment and storage vessels. Sulfur dioxide is also used in syrup, fruit juices, and also in winemaking. The effectiveness of sulfurous acid is enhanced at low pH values. In aqueous solution, sulfur dioxide and various sulfides including potassium and sodium sulfide, sodium and potassium bisulfates, potassium and sodium metabisulfates form sulfurous acid, which is an active antimicrobial component. The fumes of the burning sulfur are used to treat most of the light-colored dehydrated fruits, while dehydrated vegetables are exposed to spray of a neutral bisulfate and sulfides before drying. Next is alcohol. Alcohol is a type of chemical preservative. Ethanol is a coagulant and denaturizer of cell protein. Is the most germicidal in concentration between 70 to 95%. Flavoring extracts such as vanilla and lemon extracts are preserved by their content of alcohol. Methanol is a poisonous and should not be added to foods. Glycerol is an antiseptic in high concentration because of its dehydrating effect, but it is unimportant in food preservation. Propylene glycol has been used as a mold inhibitor and as a spray to kill airborne microorganisms present in a food. Liquor and distilled liquors are usually contains alcohol to ensure freedom from the microbial attacks. Next is wood smoke. The smoking process is a preservation by impregnating, that is, soaking or saturating the food near the surface with the chemical preservatives from the smoke by a compiled action of heat. And these preservatives during smoking and drying effects, especially at surfaces. Wood smoke contains large number of volatile compounds that may have bacteriostatic and bactericidal effect. Bacteriostatic is nothing but inhibition of the growth, and bactericidal is the death of or killing of the bacteria. Temperature and humidity are controlled at the level favorable to product being smoked, and the duration of smoking depends on the kind of food. Next is ethylene and propylene oxides. Ethylene oxide kills all microorganisms. propylene oxide, although kills many microorganisms but not effective as ethylene oxides. They are sterilants, packaging materials, and fumigation of warehouse. Warehouse is the place where we store cereals, grains, etc. Food and cold sterilization of numerous plastics, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, syringes, etc. They, they have also been used successfully in dry fruits, dried eggs, gelatin, cereals, dried yeast, and spices. Next is sugars and salts. These compounds lowers the water activity and these have an adverse effect on the microorganisms. Salt causes high osmotic pressure, dehydrates the food and sensitizes the cell against the carbon dioxide, which interferes with the action of proteolytic enzymes. Example sugars such as sucrose or glucose owe their effectiveness as a preservative to their ability to make a water unavailable to organisms and to their osmotic effects. These are the some images showing the food preservatives. This is sugars, this is sorbets, and some of the foods which are preserved in the alcohols. These are alcohols is used for the preservative material. Next is food additives. Food additives is a substance or a mixture of substance other than the basic stuff which is present in the food as a result of production, processing, storage, or packaging. These preservatives may inhibit microorganisms by interfering with their cell membrane, their enzyme activity, or their genetic mechanisms. The chemicals intentionally added to the food for the preservations. The factors that influence the effectiveness of the chemical preservatives in killing microorganisms or inhibiting their growth and activity due to concentration of chemicals, temperature, time, the chemical and physical characteristics of the substrate in which the organism is found, such as moist content, pH, kind and amount of solute, surface tension, colloidal particles, and other protective substances. Chemical agents may be bactericidal at certain concentration, but they are only inhibitory at lower levels and ineffective at still greater dilutions. Bactericidal is nothing but killing the microorganisms. Food additives are used to decrease the risk of the contamination by microbes. Coffee, creams, sugar substitutes, and candies consist of almost completely of artificial ingredients. Such manipulation of our food can have a profound effect on our body, a unique biochemical balances. Next, coming to the history. For decades, the food industry has been continuously created new chemicals to manipulate, preserve, and transform our foods. The Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act, as amended by the Food Additives Amendment of 1958, defines a chemical preservative as any chemical which, when added to food, tend to prevent or retard the deterioration thereof, but does not include common salt, sugars, vinegar, spices, or substance added by wood smoke. There are different groups of food additives such as preservatives, colors, flavors, sweeteners, emulsifiers and stabilizers, antioxidants, flavor improvers. The examples are for preservatives we use chemical preservatives, colors is natural or synthetic, flavors nothing but they are naturally identical extracts, sweeteners, saccharin, aspartame, polyols, Emulsifiers and stabilizers example is lecithin, antioxidants vitamin E, BHA, BHT, fluor improvers vitamin C, cysteine and chlorine. Next is class 1 and class 2 type of preservatives. Class 1 type of preservatives are widely used preservatives for preserving the foods. They include salts, vinegar, vegetable oil, honey, sugars, wood smoke. They are natural, so there is no necessity to be cautious while using it. Class 1 preservatives are dangerous to health. Class 2 type of preservatives. Class 2 preservatives are unnatural preservatives and are man-made. These are not natural preservatives. They are man-made or artificial preservatives. Examples: sorbates, sulfates, benzoates are some of the class 2 preservatives. Some risk is involved when using class 2 preservatives as they are chemicals. They are widely used for preservations. You see some of the examples for class 1 preservatives and class 2 preservatives. Saltish, common salts, sweet for sucrose, dextrose, glucose or its syrup and its honey. For pungents, we'll use spices, vinegar are natural and synthetic, oily only vegetable oils. Under class 2 preservatives, we see benzoic acid and its salts, sulfuric acid and its salts, nitrates and nitrates of sodium and potassium, sorbic acid, propionic acid, lactic acid and its sodium, potassium and calcium salts and its acetates. Now we are coming to end of a topic, that is biopreservation. Biopreservation is the use of natural or controlled antimicrobials as a way of preserving food and extending its shelf life. Beneficial bacteria or fermentation products produced by these bacteria are used in biopreservation to control spoilage and render pathogens inactive in food. Biopreservation is an innocuous and ecological approach to a problem of food preservation, and it is one of the important phenomena which has been used in recent years for food preservation. One of the common forms of food preservation is a fermentation, a process based on the growth of the microorganism in food, whether a natural or added. These are the images for biopreservation of some food products. Next is role of lactic acid bacteria in biopreservation. Lactic acid bacteria are gram-positive, usually non-motile, non-sporulating, catalase negative, acid-tolerant, facultative anaerobic organism, and have less than 55 more% of G+C content in their DNA. Many lactic acid bacteria species and strains show strong antagonistic activity against the spoilage and pathogenic microorganisms such as Listeria, Clostridium, Staphylococcus, and Bacillus species. Lactic acid bacteria possesses major potential for use in biopreservation as they are safe to consume and during storage they naturally dominate the microbiota of many food. Lactic bacteria encompasses a heterogeneous group of microorganisms with the production of lactic acid as the majority end product from the fermentation of carbohydrates. The genera of lactic acid bacteria which are used for the food technology are Aerococcus, Carnobacterium, Enterococcus, Lactobacillus, Lactococcus, Pediococcus, Streptococcus, etc. are used in the food preservation or biopreservation of food. The antagonistic and inhibitory properties of lactic acid bacteria are due to the competition for nutrients and the production of one or more antimicrobially active metabolites of organic acid, hydrogen peroxide, and antimicrobial peptides. Certain lactic acid bacteria grows at refrigeration temperature and tolerant to atmosphere, packaging, low pH, high salt concentrations. These are the small rods of lactic acid bacteria which converts lactose and other sugars to lactic acids. These are lactic acid bacteria. Next, the antimicrobial components produced from lactic acid bacteria, such as bacteriocins, organic acids, etc. Bacteriocins are ribosomally synthesized peptides that exerts their antimicrobial activity against either strains of same species as the bacteriocins producer or to move distantly to a related species. It has been estimated that between 30 to 99% of all the bacteria and archaea produces bacteriocins. Bacteriocins are naturally produced, so they are more easily accepted by consumers. Bacteriocins are produced by lactic acid bacteria are of two major classes. The lanthionine containing bacteria or lantibiotics. Second is the largely unmodified linear peptide antimicrobials. The lactic acid bacteria is very important in food system. This image shows the structure of the bacteriocins. These bacteriocins are antimicrobial components produced by the lactic acid bacteria. These bacteriocins are used as a biopreservatives for the food products. Next is organic acid production. It is a type of antimicrobial component produced by the lactic acid bacteria. An important role of lactic acid bacteria in a started culture is the rapid production of organic acids. This inhibits the growth of unwanted flora and enhances the product safety and shelf life. This type and level of organic acids produced during the fermentation process depends on the lactic acid bacteria strains present, culture composition, and the growth. The antimicrobial effect of organic acid lies in the reduction of pH and also in the action of undissociated acid molecules. The lactic acid bacteria are also able to reduce pH to levels where putrefactive. Examples Clostridium and Pseudomonas. And to pathogenic bacteria, examples Salmonella and Listeria. Toxicogenic bacteria, examples Staphylococcus aureus, Bacillus cereus, Clostridium botulinum, will be either inhibited or killed. Next is the other antimicrobial components produced from the lactic acid bacteria such as hydrogen peroxide. The hydrogen peroxide is produced from the lactate by lactic acid bacteria in the presence of oxygen as a result of action of flavoprotein oxidases or NADH peroxidase, that is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide peroxidases. The antimicrobial effect of hydrogen peroxide may result from the oxidation of sulfidyl groups causing the denaturation of the enzymes, that is, they may denature or alter the structure of the enzymes, and from peroxidation of membrane lipids, thus increasing the membrane permeability. Most of the undesirable bacteria such as Pseudomonas species and Staphylococcus aureus are sensitive to the hydrogen peroxide. Next is carbon dioxide. It is a type of other antimicrobial compound produced by lactic acid bacteria. Carbon dioxide is mainly produced by heterofermentative lactic acid bacteria. Carbon dioxide plays a role in creating anaerobic environment which inhibits the enzymatic decarboxylation of carbon dioxide in the membrane lipid, which causes a dysfunction in the permeability. Carbon dioxide inhibits the growth of many food spoilage microorganisms, especially gram-negative psychotropic bacteria. Next is diacetyl. It is another antimicrobial component produced by lactic acid bacteria. Diacetyl is produced by all genera of lactic acid bacteria by citrate fermentation. It is produced by heterofermentative lactic acid bacteria as a byproduct along with the lactate as the main product. Diacetyl is a byproduct whereas the lactate is the main product in the citrate fermentation. Diacetyl is a high value product and it is extensively used in dairy industry as preferred flavor compound. Diacetyl is also produced as an antimicrobial properties. Diacetyl is found to be more active against gram-negative bacteria, yeast, and molds than gram-positive bacteria. These are the reference which I referred for the seminar topic, that is chemical preservation and biopreservation of food by Food and Industrial Microbiology by Suja Senen, R.K. Malik and Shilpa Viz. Next, Food Microbiology by Martin R. Adams and Mauricio Moses. Next, Food Microbiology by William C. Frazier and Dennis C. Westhoff. And these are the image links, which have been copied from the Google. Thank you.